Welcome back. Um, I still don't know for sure if the first two views I get are my own because I opened the tab in a new window. I'm logged in, so it shouldn't. But who knows? If there are three of you out there, that's not me. Thanks for joining me. And I guess I can just go straight up the desktop here. No need to keep on the webcam more than I have to. Although I do find out that sometimes the thumbnails work better if my face is in there. So, if there's a thumbnail for that, like if I can pick it up, I might. I might could start. Well, I don't know. No, the thumbnail I have is a well, I don't know if it just picks the thumbnail of the stream. I don't remember if I actually got an image in there or not. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's welcome everybody in Restream. Let's make sure that's working. Welcome all viewers in Big Red and Mean Green. And are we doing good? We're doing good. Good, good. Get it, got it, good. Uh, okay. So there's a tiny bit of an issue. Actually, it's not really much of an issue, but just because of the way I'm doing positioning and stuff, some of these pages tend to overlap. Here, that's just. I don't really need to make it look prettier, but I'm just trying to, yeah, trying to keep it looking fairly uniform. Not 100%, but fairly. Right. Okay, and then this. Here. Let's put this. Whoop, that's not what I meant to do. Alright, fine, we'll do it this way. Do that. There we go. And let's put this underneath here like that, like so. And here we'll just. Here. We'll keep it. Okay, so we'll keep it. Oh, that's good. Actually, I'll just leave that. That's weird though that oh. All right, this is not perfect, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. Back to school. All right, so we're going to try. I think I'm going to go ahead and well, first I have to remove my data. I think I'm gonna run the game. I'm gonna start with this. No, no, up here. That's where I was, right? Oh, yeah. 003 underscore C dash back to school. Let's just go ahead and run it. Let's do this. Switch room. Make sure I got the right thing here. Actually, I could have just copied it, but that's all right. C dash back to school. Okay, chapter 3, back to school. They leave Lapswood heading east until they run into Orthogon Alley and eventually get to the fair, only to find that most of the restaurants and inns are closed up. Heading to a place called Scarborough Fried Chicken, they get a table. Hubert lays everything out. He tells John the story of how it was your ordinary average magic kingdom. He suggested to the king to turn tours was going remarkably well. Hubert then lays out the rest and tells John he brought him here to figure out what's going on. He sends John to the west toward night school and Princess Preparatory Academy. He he tells John he himself is heading for Wizard U and Fairy God College. He suggests John meet him back here at Scarborough for a chicken. And I might would add, when to share information or something, but this is how that goes. Okay, so we hit one. Okay, John becomes a knight. That's the title we're working on. John eventually approaches the front entrance of night school. There are multiple knights walking in and out wearing badges, two guards at the front gate. Uh, John questions the guards. Solution presents itself. He gives them chocolate where they start shaking off their armor. Um, yeah, I actually, this is kind of a puzzle. When I actually get to the puzzle thing, but I kind of consolidated it because I didn't want it too long back when I was doing the other, the first iteration of Phase One here before I rebooted, before I restarted it. Um, in which case, you're supposed to talk to the guards, and then they're supposed to let something slip, what might could possibly get you past them, and it happens to be chocolate, and yeah, you're not supposed to give chocolate to your parents, and so I'm kind of on the fence whether I should leave it in there because it's just fantasy anyways, or should I say, you know what, some stupid kid's gonna try feeding his parrot chocolate and it's gonna hurt him or something, So I might not do that. I might do it a little bit differently. Maybe maybe old Polly wants a cracker gig. That's that is um that's what they always make this the stereotypical idea that uh the parrot always says Polly wants a cracker. Um and so maybe they like crackers and I could do like crackers instead of chocolate. The reason I was thinking chocolate is because John still has his chocolate bar, and uh, if uh, if they can't have chocolate, then there's no reason for him to still have the candy bar. Maybe I could use it in something else, or maybe he could. Maybe I can do a completely different thing with the guards. I'm not sure. But in order to offer them something else, I have to give him something else, and so I don't know how to go about doing that. Unless when you're at Scarborough Fried Chicken, um, part of the deal is to order chicken from there. And then okay, and then you get kind of into the word territory where maybe you're feeding them fried chicken and they're birds already, and so that's kind of weird, like they're cannibals or something. I could make a comment about them eating fried chicken, and make it like a joke, a little bit of a morbid joke, but it's a joke nonetheless. Might work. I don't know. Anyways, let's continue on. John attempts to enter the enrollment tent, but is told he needs to have a badge to enter into any of the tents. The knight sort of stumbles up about apparently having had too much to drink. John also notices a number of souvenir stands with various items, including those on a badge. Hit one if you want John to take the drunk knight's badge. Hit two if you want to find a way to construct a fake badge. One. Looking at the drunk knight, John figures that he might be able to easily get his badge. John talks to the drunk knight, and when the drunk knight refuses to give him his badge, John thinks another way. John could then get him drunker, maybe he would pass out and he could take the badge. Another way is simply knock him out, considering he's almost there. A blow to the helmet could make him sleep for hours. Hit one if you wish to find a way to get him so drunk he'll pass out. Hit two if you want John to find something he can use to knock him out. So, this extra stuff here, um, I might be able to compress some of this down. Since he's drunk, and the whole joke is that Sir drinks a lot, drinks a lot. I might just leave the thing about knocking him out of it, so that way I don't have I don't have those extra pages there, and that'll be okay. That's what I mean by paring down. In fact, I don't really so much want to compress everything that I have in there into a shorter, smaller package that just still adds that much to it. I want to actually literally cut out certain things. I probably reintroduce them in a later phase, but this right now I want to keep it short and sweet. So let's say we get him drunk, looking about the stands and carts. He knows the beverage cart. John walks up the attended. Uh, I'll have to hit a stupid S there. Looking out, he knows the beverage cart. John walks up to the attendant, asks him for a flagon with a dragon of wine. When the attendant asks for money, he just says to put it over on. He glances over the jug knight and sets top of his head Sir Drinks-a-Lot's tab. The attendant states Sir Drinks-a-Lot is his best customer and gladly gives him the wine. John takes the wine over to Sir Drinks-a-Lot and gladly takes a few gulps before keeling over. And while he's asleep, he grabbed Sir Drinks-a-Lot's badge. Pitt went to investigate night school. I need to fix that page. Finally, able to go where he wants, John decides to start exploring the grounds and talking to people. According to some of the gossiping princesses, a special guest was invited to Princess Brett, but she never made it. Recognizing John, they figure he must have been the tourist that entered the train the princess was on. Furthermore, the headmistress of Princess Brett has been missing for lunch. John decides it. I'm not sure why I put that in there. She never made it there. Um, I was gonna have a thing where it wasn't just to put more flavor in it. It was to somehow people knew before anything happened, knew what happened. Um, and so there's it might have been earlier on in the deal, um, but it's where he meets Burley, and there's things that happen, and so I had to have a way that all of them knew, and so the idea was that the gossip made it around lightning fast, and so I might have to leave that out. I don't know. I'll leave the text in, I guess. And later on, when I go to the narrative pass, maybe I'll remove it then if it's not applicable to anything, I guess. Hey, hello, everybody. Okay. Streaming right now. Okay. Hit one to continue. John is the enrollment tent and notices a single man in roller garb. Okay. All right. Wait a second. Oh. No. Yeah, this is part. This is actually part of night school. John enters the enrollment tent, knows a single man in royal garb. Hit one to continue. The challenge table. I can combine the ones that are just kind of straight up, not decision worthy or whatever. Ones to go straight on, so I can actually combine those, and that's not too hard of a deal to do that. The challenge table. Now the challenge table. Ask questions. Gauntlet. Next challenge, combat. Final challenge, John unseats his appointment in joust. Finally able to ask some questions, he asks whether the weapons in the induction process are real. Okay. Meanwhile, that's the old thing. He was devising a way John sneaks in Princess Peppy first learns her first stop was okay. Alright, so we're going down to here. Alright. Okay, so this one is Drunken Knight, and this one is Build a Badge. So I can get rid of several pages here to start. So it collapse 4 down into 2, so we subtract 4. That's good. And so what I'm going to do here is the knocking out one, that's going to be gone. So let's delete that. Yeah, null instance, there's something, a problem with that. That's okay. We're going to save. And no, not text chat. We're going to save. And we are going to save room data. Reload, save scene. Okay. We're not going to worry about those invalid property deals. I have to maybe redo the whole thing about removing rooms, removing rooms. Okay. So now, one thing I need to do here is go to the door specs. We're deleting smash and grab. That. Control S, save room data. Okay. And then we are actually going to combine. Let's see some here. Select all. Copy. Over here. Open it up. Okay. Let's just put this down here. On to investigate night school. Okay, it's all right. We need to do this another way. Okay. Let's see. Looking at the drunk knight figures he might be able to easily get his badge. Talks to the drunk knight. Looking at the drunk knight. Talks to the drunk knight. John talks to the drunk knight, and the knight refuses to give him his badge. We're gonna do this a little bit differently. Looking about at the stand of the cart, he notices a beverage cart and figures he might get the night even drunker. Even drunker. Even more drunk, whatever. I don't know if drunker is a real word, but more drunk. Walks with the attendant, asks him for a flagon the flagon with the dragon of wine. I'll say the flagon with the dragon of wine. When the tenant asks for money, and as he lands over the drunk knight, he says off the top of his head, "Sir drinks a lot." Tab. Put it over on as he glances over the drunk knight, top of his head. Sir drinks a lot. The tenant states Sir drinks a lot is his best customer and gladly gives him the wine. John takes the wine over Sir drinks a lot, and he takes a few gulps before keeling over. While he's asleep, he grabs Sir Drinks a Lot's badge. Okay, so now we got that. Control save. I hit over here. Control save. Save room data. Okay. Now, a drunk night. A drunk night's what we just did, right? Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to subtract it. Without access to property or key during load on base object type null instance. Yeah, I have to see what causes that sometime. Night groupies, copy. Yeah, you know, and I also, well, okay, so I'm gonna have to go and like rename the pages. Yeah, I gotta go and like rename all of them. I mean, I don't technically need to. I don't know. I don't know if I should or not. Go to the door. Paste. Data. Reload. Save scene. Reload. Save scene. No errors. Okay, good. We're gonna kind of do the same thing over here. Okay. I wonder if well, okay. Yeah, I wonder if I should. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if I should leave the page holes right where they're at. Because this is under T2, and so only these few in here, of course. Okay, let's just go on to the deal. A couple of souvenirs. Okay. Mustache, Griffin with the mustache. Alright, let's look at this one. 1, to let loose the vendor's horse. 2, to distract the fire eater. Best way to get a badge might be to build one if you get the right components. Because no one understands, you know, souvenirs almost look like night school badges. The only problem is the vendor can spot you if you try to take anything, so you need a distraction. Okay, so the fire eater, while funny and while I might even put it back in, is superfluous. The vendor's horse, which would be something that the vendor would have, especially being now he might be on foot, but is much more likely he uh, that he has a horse than there would be vendor. Than there would be a fire eater. Not that fire eater can't be there. I'm just saying, if you're thinking logically, the more logical of the two to be there is the vendor's horse. It should be OR, not ER, but that's all right. Vendor's horse. Whoop. Vendor's horse. Oh, keep forgetting. Okay. So you need distraction. Instead of saying to, okay. Actually, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go here. See, I call it a Griffin mustache. I almost should have said vendor's horse or fire eater, but that's all right. Uh, here, copy. Uh, we are going to paste to investigate night school. That's all right. Looking at one of the stands, he notices he can build a mini coat of arms. So you need to. Okay. Spotting the vendor's horse. John decides. Well, that should be capital anyways. What am I doing? John decides to loose it. And quietly sneaks over the horse, unties the rope, leads the horse out, then slaps it super hard on the hindquarters, causing the horse to rear up and gallop away while the vendor runs after it. Here, spying the vendor's, John sneaks. John sneaks over to it and ties its rope, leads it out, then slaps it super hard in the hindquarters, causing the horse to rear up and gallop away while the vendor runs after it. John then picks from several items on the stand and builds himself a mostly accurate badge. Looks like the ones the knight is wearing. Now, I still want to leave this in, but I kind of want this. Builds a mostly accurate badge. But it's still rejected from still barred from any of the attempts. Trying to figure out why his badge didn't work. He notices the night school emblem is a griffin with a mustache. Getting creative, he finds a gold pen, ink all thereby, and scribbles a lousy mustache on his badge. Much to his surprise, the guard lets him in. Okay, that's good. So this is gonna go to night school, but let's go. Oh, uh, night groupies. Copy. Night groupies. Couple souvenirs. Door. Um, we're just gonna do this one, right? This is the first one. Okay. Night groupies. And this one just delete. Okay. And we're gonna control S. Save room data. And then these ones we are going to remove. No, I remove this one. Yeah, that's all right. Save room data. Close that. Reload save scene. Nothing saved, that's all right. Reload save scene. No errors right now. Okay. Search for clues. Okay. Actually, this, well, okay. It's because of how I did it. This should be up top here. A search for clues. That's actually Title 1, but it doesn't have any choices on it. It's just now if I had proper rooms and proper things and I could do these in a like non-linear way and I could actually revisit rooms that I had already, with the save states and stuff, I would probably allow you to choose whether you wanted to choose which direction you wanted to go in, either Hubert or John. I still could have done that, but that would mean a ton of extra um, pages because what it mean is I need two sets of each. That means like doubling all the pages, so that way you could do them in any order. Later on, you'll be able to do them in any order because it's not the way that this will work. But right now, this is the way it works. Okay. Now, actually, let's take this and see we're down to 17. 17 is not enough though. It should be preferably less than 15. I might only get 15 though because the 3 trials is I'm gonna be doing the same amount that I'm supposed to be doing here. Okay, so yeah. Now let's see if I'm gonna combine. So we're gonna lose one, and that'll be 16. So let's see if we could combine all 3 of these. Let's see if there's isn't too much stuff to do that. Okay, what do we got here? Starts exploring the grounds. Must have been a tourist. Princess on. Furthermore, the headmistress at Princess Prep has been missing for months. Okay. I guess no. I guess right now. I don't know. I'll leave. I guess I'll leave that in. I'm not sure if I should leave it in or not because I don't know if I'm going to need it later to explain something or not. So this should immediately be um, should have this added to it, the enrollment tent, and then the challenge table should be all. In fact, they should all be on the same page, I think. So let's do something here. Let's copy. Oh, copy here, and we're gonna paste it. Okay, we're gonna copy this, copy. Okay, and then we're gonna go in here, like so, and we're gonna paste that down here. So, able to go where he wants. He talks to princesses. Then he heads over to the enrollment tent. The man says go over to the challenge table. When he gets there, then you can pick the three choices. So let's start by let's go ahead and take this out. And I might call this one enrollment. Let's do something here. Let's put this up above here. We're gonna leave that in there. I'll just go ahead and delete this. Hopefully I don't need it later. If I do, hopefully I'll spot it. John, John has noticed a single man roll garb. Okay. Challenge table. The challenge table wasn't going to be a topic one, so stop him and say, try this a couple more times. They only counter with a challenge. I'm gonna have to. Okay. Let's leave that. Save room data. Okay. And copy. Now I'm gonna run this again. Let me do that. Switch room at and how many? Okay, so did I say I said like 25 or less? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 total. Right, because I wanted to leave room for. Well, that's even less than 18, right? I don't remember what my. If maybe I just did to there, and then the rest would be for like choices. I think that's how I would. So that's not very long. So I can actually remove two. Anyways, I can get down to the 15 at least. I would like to get down less, but we'll have to see. Um, okay. Let's take this. out. Take this out. Okay, and here, let's call this enrollment that. Okay, so then these doors are going to be P8 enrollment. Enrollment that. And this one's going to be the same way. Enrollment. So now before I do anything, save room data. Okay, clear that out. Scene, reload, save scene. I don't know what that means, but you know what? I didn't think. Reload, save scene. Okay, that's okay. Copy and paste. I see. Okay. This one doesn't have. So what I'm going to do here is, what would you like to start with? Then it will follow each of them, and so I'll be able to remove a lot of those too. I know it's removing a lot, but what it means is 9 goes down to 3. That means I remove 6, which puts my page count right in where I need it to be, because I need it to be around 10 pages, because I'm gonna have 4 different sections of it going to the schools, and I shouldn't have more than 40, or even maybe even less than 40. But about 40. Honestly, can do about 40 to 60 if worse comes to worse, right? So if I can't find out I can't cut something, 15 is still the max. So for 4 of them. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to go ahead and I'm going to put this up in here. Copy. And we're actually going to put that in here. Paste. 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 And then combat and mount. So this is going to be combat. And this one's going to be... Wait a sec, what the heck? Alright, let's do this. Let's check this door specs. Copy. And we're going to paste. I mean, I know the format. I gotta just use the format, but my mind just does. Sometimes it thinks a different way. So gauntlet, combat, and mount should be gauntlet, combat, and this one should be mount. And then these are actually, if I can see it, 11. So I did this 11, 12, and 13, right? Yeah, 11, 12, and 13. So this is actually supposed to be 11, oh, 11, 12, 13. And this is going to be 2 and 3. Okay, and then we're going to save. Then we're going to save room data. Okay. All right. Reload save scene. Let's actually change this from night groupies to enrollment. So, okay. All right. So now what I want to do is we're going to copy. Okay, so I'm going to copy each of these. Here. Let's take this S out here. We are going to add this. Wait. Oh, no, I see. Okay, that's all right. Control C, go into here. Row this, V, and then we'll go into this one, follow by mount. Control C, go to here, and put it at the end, Control V. And then what we want to do is okay. Let's see here. Uh, John starts with trial by gauntlet. Goes off the next challenge. He next tries trial by combat. John faces an anonymous opponent, manages to beat him with a sword, and gets ready for the final challenge. And finally is trial by mount. And we'll just do that. Okay. Finally is trial by mount. For his final challenge, unseats the. Then he's able to. Okay, and then hit 1 to continue. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do is we want a few answers here. We'll copy that. We want to go over here. We want to go to the door. And we want to make sure that this is in here. Paste. So this is going to be more or less for flavor. It's not even really more decision dailies. It's just to give you can do it, basically do it in a different order, right? Okay. This one tells you where you are. This one tells you where you're going. Tells you where, I forget the order. Okay. So let's save room data. See if you notice it goes down there. Okay. Okay, and to be able to delete the correct pages, now it should erase them properly, and I should be left with just those ones I've edited here. But because there's so many weird stuff going on, I might have to manually remove some of these. Anywho, we're gonna go to do the same thing here. We're gonna select all, copy, go ahead here. Go ahead here. Right. Okay. Select all, copy, and here we're gonna do this last. Control V. Okay. Let's go ahead and uh, actually let's go over here because it's going to the same place. Copy. Go over here to the door. Paste. And over here, door specs. Paste. Okay, these are all going to go to the few answers, right? So let's just go ahead and we'll save that. And then what we'll do over here is the same thing over here. We are going to select all, copy. I'm going to put them in here. Paste. Select all, copy, and right at the end here. Okay. Then we do go ahead and save room data. Now, what we're going to do here, though, is we're going to subtract that, that, remove this, that, and remove that one. Save room data. Reload, save scene. Reload, save scene. Clear that. See, reload, save scene. And everything's good. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure and fix these two. Okay. Continue to the commander's tent. That's all right. John chooses trial by combat first. And is given his trusted weapon and shield. He then manages to barely beat his opponent. Next, the gauntlet, which is an obstacle course, which John finished after failures. Finally, he chooses, he takes the last trial, which is by mount. John finally beats his opponent at joust. He then has the manager to ask him some questions regarding the school. Okay. All right, and then let's edit this one. John first picks trial by mount. And for that, he must unseat his opponent at the joust. After doing so, he then prepares the next test. Test the gauntlet. The gauntlet, which is an obstacle course. John, we'll say an obstacle course. The gauntlet obstacle course, which John finishes after a few failures. Gauntlet obstacle course, John finishes after a few failures. Finally, he competes trial by combat. John manages to win a trial by the sword and finally gets to ask some questions. Okay. Room data. Now. Okay, okay, this is long. Oh, this is back to school. Search for clues. Okay. Wait a second. And 9 selected. That's perfect, actually. That is perfect. Less agency, but also less pages. So okay. Looks like we got the first section done anyways. And I'm gonna have to go and clean up in the files because there may be some messed up file stuff in here. Um, so let's go ahead and go to rooms first. And actually, let's do that. Let's shade. Back to school. Search for clues. P3, P8, P11, 12, and 13, P20. And that is actually correct. And that's 9 items, right? John becomes a knight. Beg, borrow, steal. Drunken knight. Couple of souvenirs. Enrollment. Trial by combat. Trial by gauntlet. Trial by combat. Trial by mount. Few answers. That looks good. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's do something else. Let's open this in a new window. Let's go to rooms. Let's go to, or let's not go to rooms. Let's go to layout tool data and see what I have to delete because this probably screwed up. It might not have, but it probably did. Um, 1 page, 2 page. Hubert's old flame. Okay, I got some errors here. Oh, well, this is delete, but that's not anything. Delete. Oh, we want to go to T2. This is different. Okay. T2, John becomes a knight. Beg, borrow, steal. P2, drunk knight, couple souvenirs. Enrollment, trial by gauntlet, trial by combat, trial by mount. A few answers. And wait a second. Guess who's back in town? Hubert's old flame. T3, okay, that's fine. T2, page 20, right? Because I had 20 there. Um, Let me think about this for a moment to decide what I want to do. I'm gonna have to do some comparisons here. Um, let's do some comparisons here. Let me actually let's just do this. Okay, or we could do it this way, is where this is down. So, all right. Okay, main menu, preface, here it goes for help. T1P0, perfect candidate. T1P1, the magic mailbox. T1P2, inside the wrapper. T1P3, hat magic. T1P4, only half a ticket. T1P5, quick serverless. T1P6, quick serverless. And I'm wondering if I shouldn't even call those different. Maybe I shouldn't have a... Should be what it is, not... Yeah, I guess it's because they're different things. Like the drunk and the vendor, they're not the same because they're different deals. These are exactly the same, so I guess I'll leave them exactly the same. P7, only half a ticket. P8, jumping books. P9, not a fairy tale. P10, never heard of it. P11, the wonky bar. 12, the wonky bar. Uh, T2, P0, the silver ticket, right? Okay. C, the twin brothers. Let's go all the way to the top where the twin brothers is at the top. Let's go just after the twin brothers. There. And P0, Enchanted Dragons. These are all P. Okay, this is chapter 2, right? Chapter 2. 2. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Page 1 is Dragon Mount. Page 2, Glint, Ember, and Shade. Ember, Shade, Glint. Shade, Glint, Ember. Shade, Ember. Shade, Glint. Uh, Shade, Ember, Shade, Glint. P11. Ember, Shade, Glint, Ember, Glint. Shade, Ember, Shade, Glint, Ember, Glint. 17 is Fire in the Sky. Chapter 2, page 18, the Sky Chicken, Pull and Tumble, Dizzy Dame, The Dead Drop, An Odd Flying Train, Poor Bribe, Flame Retardant. Wait. We have 2 Poor Bribes, do we? 2 Poor Bribes, and in here we have... Okay, that's... Okay, nothing's wrong with that. I have to be careful about that, because these are the... they're actually different pages. I gotta go by the page numbers to make sure that that's the case. Then T2, P0, Long Lost Brothers. We have C, Back to School. And this is actually where we get kind of cool, kind of good here. Where? Oh. A search for clues. Okay. T1P0, T1P0. Page 1, John becomes a knight. Okay. Oh, alright. John becomes a knight. Big borrower still. A drunk knight. Couple souvenirs. Okay, these are the correct. These are not the correct. A search for... Okay. Princess is missing. Page 3. T5, page 0. T2, page 0. John becomes a knight. Okay. And we're going to delete these. 2, 3, and 4, which they're not. So now, a search for clues, T1, P0, a search, chapter 3, T1, P0, search for clues. Chapter 3, T2, P0, John becomes a knight. Then page 1 is beg, borrow, steal. Page 2, drunk knight, couple souvenirs, enrollment, gauntlet, combat, mount, few answers. Uh, Princess is missing is title 3. Yeah, title 3. Right. And it's going to be the same way here, or it should be. T3. Why does that go so quickly? Names from scratch. Oh, let's go engine. Why did I think it was games from scratch? I don't. Okay, don't care about that. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Care about that right now. Alrighty then. D6, Renaissance. Okay, that's good. And then tragedy of Sir William. Works fine. Okay, now. All that to say now is that presuming everything is hunky dory now, reload save scene. That's fine. And that's fine. And that's way too far down. Do like this. That's okay. Alright. The princess is missing. This is going to be the princess prep stuff. Alright. So what that means is the first thing I need to do here, other than resizing this back, I don't know if I'll keep it full screen or not. Let's go ahead and cut that out right now. And what we want to do now is old rooms. Let's go to rooms. Old rooms copy. We're going to delete that. And what we're going to do now is we are going to open up the little project, and we're going to find the Princess Prep pages. So folder. Honestly, Princess Prep was the last thing that I brought in. I mean, it's right there at the bottom. That was the last thing I did. Wizard U is going to be kind of tough because I have a lot of moving parts in that, including the trophy room and everything. So I may or may not do that. I may cut a whole bunch out or compress a whole bunch or whatever. And I just got 10 minutes, so I just got enough time to find out what I need to do here. So okay, that's the tragedy of Sir William there. has to do with that. Yeah, I might be deleting a whole chapter when I come to the next chapter, which means 19. 19 isn't such a that good of a round, all around number, but it is under 20, and it also means less stuff I have to do. But in any case, this is going to be a biggie here, so wait. Zanzibar. So this goes to Zanzibar. Okay. That means that okay. So we're going to copy all of these. And by copy, I mean we're going to copy the files. See, there's 30 of them. And I should at least give this to half, if not even less than half. That's going to be so sweet now, I think. So let's see something here. Princess Prep. Back window. Princess Prep Shed. The back window, another back window. Another Princess Shed. Princess Prep Door. Okay, so this is going to have a whole bunch of different things that I need to copy over. That's going to kind of be a pain, but that's kind of the way that goes too. Okay. I wonder, I only have to copy a 39. 02, 48, 48, 50. Are these all 50? 50's locations. These are all 50s. I gotta decide if I want to kind of chop it down early. 50, 48, 39, 49, 39, 49. Okay. How do I want to do this? I got like only 10 minutes before my break here. So maybe what I should do is I should go ahead and we'll start with Princess Prep, 016 Princess Prep, and we'll run this, the old one, up to, and we'll switch to Princess Prep, and then we'll kind of do a quick run through. Which room to 016 Princess Prep. Princess, switch room to 016 Princess Prep. General Princess Preppy approaches the front doors, attempts to open them, which fails. Something seems to be barring them, makes his way around back, where seems to be a boarded up wide picture window. And he knows what looks to be a utility shed, probably for the groundskeeper to store all the stools. Hit 1 if you want John to examine the boarded up window. Hit 2 if you like John to examine the shed. Okay, so after examining the window, it looks like the boards are well nailed in place for one loose nail. John pulls out the loose nail, then proceeds to head to the shed to see if he can find a hole to use. There's a padlock on the door of the shed. When John uses the nail to try and pick the lock, eventually the padlock opens. John looks inside the shed, sees a pry bar against the wall. He grabs it. Uh, 2. John decides to try the front door. Doesn't seem to budge. Then proceeds to go to the back window. 1. John takes a pry bar, pulls off the boards, examines the window after latch, preventing the window from opening. If you want to use it, loosen down on the latch. If you want John to attempt to force the window with a pry bar. If you want John to try to loose rock or brick to break open the window. Let's try 2. Use the pry bar to force open the window. The latch finally breaks and he's able to slip inside. Once through, he faces a basic office desk, a couple of plants to the left and right. One of the plants seems to be shuttering of its own accord. 1 to continue. A filing cabinet to John's left is open. Files and papers are strewn about. Desk chairs. Okay. Check out the desk. Check out the plants. Check out the file. Okay. So, okay. So desk, plants, and filing cabinet. That's This is when he gets into the deal. And so I have all of these done, so you can pick them kind of in any order. And should be able to collapse a few of these branches. In fact, getting into the shed or getting into the window isn't as important as what's inside the office. Yeah. Well, I would say I could do it all on one page, but um, what if I just take these ones here? Those are 18. That's actually kind of closer to it. So I still have to collapse some stuff though. So I have to do some mega collapsing there. Uh, I'm probably not gonna get much more done before my break. But I'm still trying to figure out here. Um, Let me think for a second. Princess is missing. See what I'm thinking is I'm thinking of I'll end up creating my own new page, and yeah, I think I'll create a new page about him getting in there, and I even do a thing. I'll even put a couple of the lines in there that kind of describes the puzzle, because later it's going to be a puzzle that you have to you have to find. So let me think for a second. I might only just want to copy those few. So I'm going to make a single page and I'm going to, let me think for a moment. Dump all of those into a single page. Is that what I want to do? I want to dump all of them to a single page. In fact, that would be the first page. First page is getting in there. So that will actually be that title to page 0 thing. Okay, so I kind of ran out of time for this before the break. When I get back, I think I'm going to do what I said. I'm going to create a new page that combines all of these ones. All these ones are just basically getting into the office. So like this, this one, this one. These are going to be all in one page here, and that's 10. So that's 10 that I have removed, and then I'll work on these other ones and try to collapse them until I have roughly around 15 or less. Roughly 15 or less. Anyways, thanks for watching part 1, and I'll see you about an hour if you're interested. Thank you for watching part 1.